Hey guys, Dave Seeman coming to you from Enniscrone Golf Club in Avondale, Pennsylvania. Today what we're going to do is we're going to work on wedges a little bit. And I had one of my followers from the email, he sent me an email, Michael Lott, and he said, hey Dave, you know, I'm getting fitted for some new clubs and how should I deal with the wedges? Well, bounce is very, very important, and I sent him a return reply and I said, hey, Michael, do you play on firm fairways, dry conditions, or do you play in something that's, you know, like out in the East Coast here, we're pretty wet? And he said dry. Well, if you have a tendency to play on wet conditions, you always want to have a little bit more bounce. And bounce is, if we're holding the golf club straight up, the trailing edge is going to always be a little bit below the leading edge. And that is the angle of the bounce. Now, if you're playing on wet conditions, it's probably somewhere between 10 and 14 that you want for bounce. If you're out in where Utah or you're playing in some really firm conditions, you might want a little bit less than 10. But it also, what makes this determination is how steep we are into the ball. Now, when I first started playing golf, I was very steep with my wedges, and I'd come down very steep and take big divots. Well, if you're one of those people, you got to have a lot more bounce than the person that brings the golf club in real shallow. So the other question he had is, he said, okay, does the vertical swing work when we do the wedges? And I said, absolutely. You know, nothing changes. We still want the ball position for the wedges right in the middle of our stance. We still have to get a little bit of tilt with our spine to the right, and we're still going to make that swing of up and through. Now, I have a tendency to take a little bit of a divot there. That was probably a 6-inch divot. There's nothing wrong with taking a divot. The tour players do it. It's just where the divot happens to be. Now, if you're hitting wedges and you find that you're hitting it fat a lot of times, I'd be very careful in how much weight or what you're doing really with your backswing. And what I mean by that is, I think the biggest fault that I see most people with their wedges is that they make too big of a backswing. If you really, really want to hit your wedges good, you got to watch the way the tour guys do it, and you're going to see that they always have a 3/4 limited turn swing with their wedges. They go here and through. Now, right now, I'm playing on a very soft, we just had a bunch of rain, so I'm playing on a very soft ground, and I'm taking a little bit of a divot. So, it is what it is, but I'm hitting the ball in the center of the club. So, my feeling is this: if you're taking a full swing, yes, we are going to definitely still do the vertical swing. If we're taking something where we want to take a little something off of it, my feeling is this: we start to get the arms a little bit less involved and get a little bit more rotational. And you'll see that in the tour players. So if I'm hitting a little half shot, I'm going to lean a little bit more onto my front foot, and all I'm going to do is kind of feel like it's a 9-3 swing with very little hands, very little arms. If you want to study somebody, I'd say Steve Stricker. So if I'm hitting a little half shot, it's going to be more 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and make sure you always finish on this side, okay? So we're not making a big weight shift, we're staying left and we're rotating. You won't believe how much that little shot will help most of you get to your impact position in your full swing. So Michael, thanks for sending that in. I want everybody to know I got some schools coming up. We're going to try to do Canada. We're doing Columbus, Ohio. We're going to Chicago next week. So lots happening, and stay tuned, there's more coming. But from Dave Seeman and Enniscrone Golf Club, take care.